This required many breaks, and I would like to know who exactly is responsible for taking the child lock off of Tyler Perry's TV. Because somebody let him watch The Idol, and I want to know who. I'm going to explain it as well as I can, but if it's confusing, you're not alone because I am also confused. So Mea Culpa, who is in an extraordinarily bad marriage, which I've touched on before, is also a defense attorney. And she gets personally hired by a man named Zaire, who's a painter. Like, apparently a pretty decent painter because he's in some sort of art gallery. But the art gallery is owned by some lady who used to have sex with him, which apparently isn't hard to find because this man fucks anything that will stand still long enough anyway. Well, while she's taking on the defense case, her brother-in-law, who's the district attorney, is going to be the prosecutor. Which, how the hell is that ethical in law? Which they take it to the judge, and even the judge is like, okay, I'm gonna let this happen, but any kind of fuckery going on, I'm going to the board. Sir, the fuckery began when you allowed it. But whatever. Zaire's murder case is in a month, and instead of, wanting to work on his case to keep him from going to prison or going death by injection, he's trying to fuck Mia. He took her to a sex dungeon. What you could call a sex dungeon. It's not really a sex dungeon. It looks like a swingers club. He's getting head in front of her because that's appropriate. He said at the beginning he doesn't want to be tied down. He has sex with these women and then he lets them go, and that's why all of his exes are crazy. Red flag number 1. But then he finally talks Mia into having sex because she thinks her husband guy is having an affair. And he's like, I love you. You could be the one. And when you get me off this case, we can live in the Dominican Republic. And I'm like, that's literally the exact opposite of what you wanted. But again, whatever. So after they have sex, she's already feeling bad. But she goes and talks to one of the art gallery people, who's the lady who he had sex with and all this other stuff that carries his paintings. And come to find out, he does the same shit with women over and over so that he can have sex with them. And she gets all mad, and she's like, I'm turning myself in, and I quit as your lawyer. And then her husband finds out that they had an affair because her brother-in-law told him. I done told y'all, the husband's family is absolutely having incestuous group sex. If I'm wrong, I will eat my hat. But then she flies out to the Dominican Republic. And then she flies out to the Dominican Republic where she runs into a woman who is a hotel maid who is supposedly the woman that Zaire murdered. Which I was very confused about because supposedly there was so much blood on the floor of his loft that the neighbor underneath called the police. And pieces of her skull were embedded in the paint on his canvas. Which was confusing for a lot of reasons. Because number 1, where did the body go? Why was there no body? And even if he got rid of it, when she went into the loft, she couldn't find any kind of blood stain. She was like, well, this is where the blood would be. And that's where the painting would be. Ma'am, as somebody who had to replace her flooring because shit water got underneath it, you would absolutely have warping wherever that blood would be, if not staining. Have you ever tried to get blood out of anything? It doesn't come out. Or the smell. Also, how long has this investigation been going on? Because wouldn't that be an active crime scene? Why is he allowed back in? Number 3, how do they charge him for murder if they can't find a body? Wasn't that the whole thing on Lacey Peterson's disappearance, is that they couldn't charge Drew because there was no body? But anyway, she finds the supposed dead lady in the Dominican Republic of all places. And so she calls her DA brother-in-law. And she's like, hey, we got a live woman here. And he's like, okay, I'm going to send one of my investigators. You should also come home and talk to my brother because he's getting help. And maybe y'all can reconcile. Why she'd want to reconcile at this point, I have no fucking clue. She wasn't happy to begin with. And come to find out, the family set it up all along so that, I don't know. I guess part of it is so the brother-in-law can be the mayor. And the other part's to get rid of Mia. Or maybe Mia just got interluded when she became the defense attorney. But they don't like her anyway. So what happened, the brother-in-law's wife slept with the artist. And obviously the brother-in-law was mad as hell. This is what I got. He wanted to look tough on crime so that he could put away a big case so that they would want to make him mayor. So they set up the artist that the sister-in-law had the affair with. And for some odd reason, the mother was faking cancer. I guess for a sympathy vote? I don't fucking know. Tedros gets off. And he's like, thanks, Mia. And then he texts Mia. He's like, I want to see you. Let me see you. And then she throws her phone away and walks off. And we have no idea what happens after that. I don't know if she's been disbarred. I'd like to know what happened to the judge who allowed this in the first place. Y'all are all fired. Everybody is fired. Also, do not put acrylic paint near your hoo-ha. That will not end well. Okay, bye. Do. Incestuous sex with your relative. Mama, girlfriend, brother, husband. Oh shit, I forgot to rate it. 3 out of 10 because at least there was some decent wienering. Okay, bye.